streams or in your YouTube videos. It's not indicative of the quality that we're going to be launching with, and I would prefer that we're not showing stuff that isn't final or showing stuff that's not at that quality bar to the community. So when season 7 launches, these bugs will get sorted out. For the build that you're on right now, they are not. So please do not show the fame store.
Just real quick, where to avoid it? How do we access it? Because I don't want to accidentally go to it or something.
Yeah, that was my question too.
Yeah, you guys will be able to access it. So like we haven't put a block in the game. It's just if you guys accidentally go in there, just get off the screen as quickly as you can. We recognize that there's going to be bugs.
We just wanted to know where the location was, Drew.
Yeah, and we'll get into that in a little bit. What the fame store is like. I'll talk you through it, but I'm not going to bring it up on screen.
Gotcha.
Understand that don't either. And then in terms of the bugs themselves, so because this build is not final, you are going to come across some bugs. Most of the stuff is already known and things that the team is working on fixing. Some things are going to be fixed for launch, like the fame store is definitely a critical one that we are going to fix for the season 7 launch. There are some other ones that potentially for if you come across a bug, for example, with a unit that's not going to be available to work, which is not going to be released until mid-season, those bugs may or may not be fixed. But when that unit becomes available, they will. So I would ask that when you guys do come across a bug, and you're not required to, but if you do want to report it to us, I'm sure I'm going to link you guys to a form that you can drop those bugs in our preview event chat right there. And so again, it's helpful for us to know about these, but you're not required to if you don't want to. The purpose of this preview event is not a testing event. It is for you to preview the content to your audience. So just keep that in mind. And I think that's just about everything. I'm not sure whether we have the community managers here. Oh, we do. I see Chibs is in here, and I'm not sure whether Caden. I see Caden. Maybe you guys want to take a quick moment to introduce yourselves.
You go first, Chibs.
Okay, yeah. Hi, I'm Chips. I'm the German community manager. I'm just fresh out of the CM stream to join this event. Caden.
Yeah, I'm the English European community manager. I'm the one that loves to talk to you all with teasers and stuff like that. And yeah, we just come from a CM stream, so we'll shut up and let you guys get it done.
I can't. The list is so long with the voice. I can't see if there's any other community managers in here. Is there anybody else? Did Pablo make it or anybody?
Yeah, there is a Spanish community manager here. So yeah, if a Spanish content creator have any doubts, just pop me and I can help you. Hello everyone.
All right. Any other community managers? No. Okay. All right, so again, guys, I'm going to be going through this fairly quickly. There are some portions that I'm just going to allow you to explore on your own time, and I'll talk about that as we go through. So I'm going to get right into it. And so with Season 7, the season is going to be 12 weeks long. It starts March 18th, so we're launching in just a few days, and it ends on June 13th. And so now I'm moving in, as soon as I can highlight my game. So I'm now moving into the seasonal interface, hitting F5. And so you'll see here that we've actually revamped the visual interface of the season, which I think is pretty nice. A lot of the functionality is the same, but there's a number of updates as well too that I would like to walk you through. So you also notice that we have a new screen in the seasonal interface, which is called. It's right now in the build that you're in. It's called seasonal. Well, there's 2 seasonals in there. Again, this is not the final load, but there's the seasonal runes, and I will talk about the whole rune system later on. And then there's the seasonal store. So that's what the loc is supposed to be, those last 2 icons on the lower row there. So I'm going to go into the battle pass. And from a functional point of view, there hasn't been a lot of changes to the battle pass. It's very typical of what you guys have experienced in previous seasons. So the top row are the rewards that you can get from the battle pass, and the bottom row are the rewards that you get from progressing through the season and increasing your seasonal level. You can purchase the battle pass, and once you have it, you can also purchase Glory, which will increase your battle pass levels. This is the same that we've always had. one notable change that you guys will see is that we are now highlighting the next milestone reward. And so a milestone reward is a reward that is one of the bigger ones. So whether that be an attire, an emote, a flag, a particular box or something like that. So that's it's a handy feature to have. I think it's sort of nice. And then if you actually select that, if it's an attire or anything else, you can actually preview that. So we've added these new screens that allows you to preview the attires, and hopefully it will provide some motivation for you guys to work a little bit harder to reach those. So for example, I'm at Battle Pass 100. I'm got the Odin's attire. Oh, I just redeemed it, and so you'll be able to hit the I button, and it'll preview that attire for you. So it's a kind of a cool, small but cool little feature. Some of the notable Battle Pass rewards, I'm not going to go through them all because this is stuff that I'm hoping that you'll explore with your audience on your free time on the server. But at Battle Pass level 1, you get the Theon's attire. At Battle Pass 15, you get the Thunderclap emote, which I'm so happy that we got that. Kane, we got to do a stream and like we did with the fireworks and get everybody together and just do Thunderclaps all at the same time. That'd be awesome. At Battle Pass 50, you get the Tears Warband attire, which I believe is a unit attire, and so forth. So there's a lot of good stuff to get. There's also a lot of boxes and schematics. So artillery boxes, the weapon skin boxes, and other such stuff that you can earn from the Battle Pass. So take the time to walk your audience through what those rewards are going to be. Give them some motivation, and hopefully they will enjoy all the rewards that you can get from the season. All right, I'm jumping over to the seasonal store because this has got some pretty significant updates to it. So if you guys all want to switch over to the seasonal store tab. So like I said, the seasonal store has had some pretty significant changes, and the most important one is we've removed hero tokens. And so the only seasonal currency that you're going to get in Season 7 are blades. And this change was based on feedback that we received from the community, from the players, in that having multiple seasonal currencies was a bit too complicated, and just it made a system unnecessarily complex, and really what we've set out to achieve is just to simplify that with one currency. So blades is the seasonal currency, and it's no longer going to take up an inventory slot. It's considered like another currency that's just displayed in the seasonal store here. That's where you see how many blades that you've earned. In terms of the seasonal store, it's very much like what you've seen in previous seasons, where it's got consumables that you can purchase, and you've got the Season 7 weapon skins, and then a few other cool things that you can buy. A couple important notes for the skins, particularly the antique skins and whatnot, and I'm going to ask the community managers to pay extra attention to this, make sure that I'm giving the correct information here, is... So the Season 7 weapon skins will only be available during Season 7. The antique weapon skins that are available this season will only be available for this season. The previous season recolored attires are available for 3 seasons. So this attire the recolored attires that we introduced in this season will be available from Season 7 to Season 10. And when an antique attire is introduced, it is introduced at a discounted rate. So, in the last season, the antique attires that we introduced were introduced at a 20% discount. So that discount no longer applies in this season. And the antique attires that we introduced this season are at a discount. I hope that makes sense. Yeah, Dave? I've got people right now. Maybe I did not. I do believe. I think that just the best way to consider it is the new antique skins are available at a discount, and then once it progresses to the next season, that discount goes away, and then is applied to the new stuff in the next season. So, if you guys have any questions about that, just drop them in the chat, and I can answer and clarify that after. But I'm not getting anybody writing me, so I must have added that correctly, and one of our staff just added those notes to our chat in Discords if you want to refer to those. Okay, any questions so far?
Regarding the seasonal store, Drew, normally obviously we get the purple schematic. I've noticed that's not in there. Is that going to be in there for the final build? Because there's normally a armor schematic for purple schematics, and I don't see that in there this time round. And it's one of the few things that are very rare in general in the game.
I'm not 100% sure whether that's going to be in there or not. I don't know if the items in the store right now are final. That might be something that you would be able to get from the Fame store. I'm not 100% sure. I will look into that and see if someone's going to feed me or favor, sorry. Feed me the answer to that, and I will get back to you about that as soon as I know.
Hey, Drew, I got a quick question.
Yep.
I mean, I asked it, but for example, if I have the antique snow attire from last season, like I got it from the antique store from last season, would I be able to purchase it again, even though it just costs a little bit more, or you can only purchase it like once per season? Like,
I do believe that if it's a hero tire, that you wouldn't be able to repurchase it because you can only purchase
the
hero
unit
tire.
attires would we be able, like, if I wanted to stockpile on like snow on the antique snow attire for like 3 seasons, and then until it's gone, like, could I do that or not?
I do believe you should be able to do that. You should be able to repurchase unit attires, but we are going to confirm this with the developers just to be sure.
Awesome, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to move on to the challenges tab. So not the unit challenges, just the regular challenges. Hopefully, well, I thought my game just crashed. So in terms of the challenges, there's no changes for the functionality. It's very much the same as it was in previous seasons, in which case each week more challenges open up. You have the ability to refresh specific challenges if you don't want to go over that. You have a certain amount of challenges that you can refresh per week, so you can't just refresh them until you find the easiest one. You cannot pay off these challenges. And the only one notable change for the challenges is that there's now 12 weeks of challenges. And that's pretty much challenges in a nutshell. There's not a lot changed there other than the addition of the new weeks.
So, sorry, Drew. So you can't. You're saying you can't pay off the challenges. Will certain challenges like ranked battles that a lot of people don't do, they'll still be in the challenges then?
That one I can't answer. I know that it was a topic of feedback that we provided to the dev team in the last season, because I know that a lot of people in the community didn't like the fact that there were challenges associated with that. I don't know for sure whether those challenges have been removed or not. I think that's something that either we can see if we can confirm with the developers before we launch, or it might just be something that you'll have to discover once we do launch.
Okay.
But I mean, I think the key takeaway here is that the feedback has been heard, and I'm not sure whether we've been able to act on it for this season or whether we will
Just keep in mind
future
that you can re-roll these weekly challenges. You're allowed 2 re-rolls per week.
Of weekly challenges?
Of the weekly
Yeah,
challenges,
weekly
yes.
challenges.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
can do
yeah.
2 re-rolls a week. So he's talking about the weekly challenges. You've never been able to pay off weekly challenges.
No. Yeah, you're thinking of the unit challenges.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And whoever was talking originally was super quiet. I didn't even hear that. So you may want to just adjust your volume on the fly. Okay, so I'm moving over to the unit challenges. And like I said at the beginning of the presentation, I don't want to go into super details on every specific thing. I want to allow that you guys time to explore and discover
That's a good one. Resupplier price.
Mute yourself, please. I want you guys to discover a lot of these changes. Take the time to explore the units on your own time. And so with the unit challenges, I'll talk about the functionality a little bit, talk about the new units in terms of their lore, and then just sort of leave it at that. So the general functionality of the unit challenges hasn't changed. There's a few minor interface changes that we've done. So there's some music associated with the units, and there's a new sort of visual interface, which is sort of nice, quality of life change. But overall, the functionality hasn't changed. The units will open up as the season progresses. So I do believe that is it the Berserkers that are open right away, or the Sons of Finir?
Sons.
Sons of Finir.
Yeah, so they'll be open, first week, and as the season progresses, the rest will become available to progress to unlock. Each unit has a certain amount of stages, and each stage has a bunch of challenges associated with them. So these challenges you can pay off the Sovereign, and if you want to, just unlock the unit right away. But essentially, no matter how many stages there are, there's going to be specific rewards that will come at certain points as you progress and complete those challenges. So you will get a temporary version of the unit. Then you will unlock the permanent version of the unit, and then you'll get a doctrine for that unit. And somewhere along the way, whether it's after the doctrine or before the doctrine, you'll also get an avatar styled out to the unit. And I'll talk about the avatar system in a little bit. And so in terms of the 3 units themselves, so we are introducing 3 new units this season. They are all melee units, which I think people are pretty pumped about. So I'm going to just talk through the lore of them a little bit, and then you guys can sort of discover their traits, their skills, their formations, try them out on your own time. So the Sons of Finir are fanatical followers of the Wolf God's cult, feared and despised in equal measure. The cult's members live in forest camps, carrying out forbidden rituals, and by degrees becoming insane half-men, half-beast fanatics. Each son has sacrificed his soul to Finir, the mythical wolf bound in chains, in exchange for physical power. I'm just going to jump in a quick little personal note. I'm pretty pumped for the units this season. I'm really anxious to get my hands on all of them. I haven't had a chance to try them out yet, and so I'm hoping that we can get some games going, and I'll talk about that at the end of the presentation here. The next one is the Berserkers. So Berserkers are fearsome warriors, noteworthy for entering into trances before battle by consuming particular plants unique to their land. When the fighting begins, they are almost suicidally brave, each man striving to outdo his comrade in ever more desperate displays of courage. Berserkers carry 2 axes, considering shields of being unworthy of a warrior who seeks to live forever in Valhalla. And finally, which I think is probably the most exciting unit that we have this season, is the Shield Maidens. And so the Shield Maidens of Freya, which I think I'm pronouncing that right. Freya are the armed wings of the cult of Freya, goddess of love, fertility, sex, war, gold, and magic. In peacetime, these women serve as bodyguards in the households of highborn families, and sometimes as guardians of sacred places such as temples, groves, or stone circles. On the battlefield, they are like the incarnation of Valkyries, fighting with the sword and spear at the side of their leaders. Legend has it that when the Shield Maidens make their battle cry, their allies follow them into even more desperate melee. So, pretty exciting, I think. I'm anxious to see your guys' streams and YouTube videos that come out of this covering these units. I think that you guys' audience are going to be particularly interested in that. So in terms of the unit themselves, so one little bit of optimization that we've done in Season 7 is for these new units, we've actually have a couple different models for the units, and so it's not going to be a squad of all the same face. You're going to notice that there is a little bit of variety to the models that are going to be in the units, so it's a small thing, but still pretty cool, I think. And in terms of the unit challenges, going back to the functionality, so one more thing to note is for this season, we've reduced the requirements for the Season 3 units. So in the previous season, Season 6, we reduced the requirements for Season 2. In this season, we reduced the requirements for Season 3, and that way it allows players who are new to the game, and make no mistake, we've got lots of new guys coming into the game. It just makes it a little bit easier for them to access those, but still have to work for them a little bit.
Okay, so I've got the question here where the Season 2 stuff, is it still discounted, or is that discount no longer effective now?
The Season 2 ones are still going to have reduced requirements.
The Horde conquers all!
I'm going to wait for confirmation. No, they will not. Okay?
Okay, so it's only one season units.
Well, the Keshik still need 8.
Each season.
But why did we take the decision to not reduce every next season then too? So removing this feature again make it a bit bad, I think.
I can't speak to the decision made behind that. I can only tell you what it is. So in this case, so the season 2 is no longer discounted. I was not aware of that. So good
Maybe
question.
can we bring it up? So they're going to change it again?
It is certainly feedback that we can pass on to the dev team.
That's going to
on your
upset a
guys'
lot.
behalf.
Because at first it was good that the people was able to catch up, and now it got removed again. So it's a bit
I'm
bad.
going to jump in here and cut you off.
Yeah, no problem. All fine.
I said that I cannot speak to the decision making behind that. I can just speak to what is and what is not there. Like I said, this is certainly feedback that we will pass on. I know that for me personally, it was fairly handy because I was working towards unlocking those units on my personal account, and now it's going to be a little bit tougher. So I guess I'll switch over to unlocking those season 3 ones. But you know, your feedback is heard and definitely pass along, and we'll just leave that right there. Okay.
So real quick, so does that mean the mall is also a reduced difficulty since that is a season 3 challenge?
I do believe that they were permanent. They were made permanently easier to unlock in season 5, but I might be. Were you wrong on that?
Yeah,
So
the mall will be reduced.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for that clarification. No.
Okay. Cool.
So the berserkers, by the way, are they dwarfs? Because they're tiny as hell.
You will have to discover that on when you got your free time on Okay. So moving on, so I'm looking at the campaign tab. So typically in preview events, we give you a complete breakdown of the campaign, and generally, so I found giving you guys a full breakdown to be somewhat problematic, just because you know, this is, you know, early into the season. You know, we don't usually end up making changes, sometimes based on feedback, sometimes not. I can say that in this season that we've worked, us being, you know, the Mind.com and Booming Tech had worked to simplify the season as much as we could based on feedback that we've received from the community. And I'm not going to go through the actual step-by-step stages of the campaign because it's all there in the client right now. So if you do want to show off what the campaign is going to look like in season 7, you can just go into the campaign tab here, and it'll show you what the dates are, what the stages are, and what's going to be available, what's not. I can confirm that there will be 2 starting regions at the beginning of the season. So that's going to be Osteria and Anadolu, which is sort of nice that we're bringing back Anadolu, and so that was based on a big piece of feedback that we got from the community, and that you know, a lot of players did not like only having the 1 starting region. And so, as I said before, there's a lot of things we do hear, all the feedback we have, a lot of things that we can't react to, you know, as quick as you would hope that we can, but it is heard, and we do try to react to as much as we can. And you know, sometimes some of the feedback will take a few seasons to actually implement, and sometimes we'll be able to move on stuff quicker than other stuff. So in this one, 2 starting regions, and then the rest of the campaign, I'm just going to let you guys discover in the client. So pretty simple.
Yep.
All right. So that is the seasonal interface. And so I'm going to move on to the new features and new content. There's from the agenda I sent, there's only 3 items, but a few of them are pretty, or at least one of them is a pretty in-depth new feature that I think that you guys should be pretty excited about, because it adds a whole new layer of customization to the game. And so I'm talking about the rune system. And before I get into talking about all the runes, I need to give you guys a heads up that for runes specifically, our localization team is still working on the finalizing the descriptions for the runes. And so as you guys are going through and checking out this new feature, you will notice that some of the runes may not work as described. And specifically what this means is that either the runes do not have the effect as described. So like it may say like increases critical hit value, and then you take it in and it's not actually doing that. or it could be that it says increases critical hit value by, X, Y, or Z, and it's not actually doing that. And so the reason why that is happening is because we are still working on the localization, on the final localization for the rune system. And this is, it goes back to what I said at the beginning of the presentation. This is not the final build. When we launch, it will be final, but at the, in the interest of giving you guys the opportunity to preview this sort of stuff, these are the things that we need to live with. Okay, so this next part is going to require some action from you guys in terms of unlocking it. So I'll just quickly walk you guys through how to get access to this rune system so you can check it out while you're going. So you want to start off by going to the War Scholar in the town and speak with them. And you want to select this top option. And that will spawn a quest, which you should accept. Well, if you want to show off the rune system, you should accept it. And then from there, you got to make your way to the artisan, wherever they may be. I saw them. Artisan. So go up to that NPC, and then talk to them, and then it'll complete the quest that the War Scholar sent you on. And then talk to them again, and it'll unlock a new quest, and that will unlock the rune system. And so, okay, if you guys aren't clear on that, we'll put instructions in the Discord after the presentation, just so you can get in there. So once you have the rune system unlocked, there's two ways to access it. You can either through the character interface, so you hit P. I'm not in the game. Hit P. And then right underneath all your gear, you'll see a new button, which is called Apply Rune. Hit that, and it'll open up the rune interface. You can also access it through the seasonal interface, which is hit F5, and then go to the season runes. And this is also, and then from here you hit the equip runes, and that'll bring you to the interface. And so the best way to think about the rune system is that runes are doctrines for your characters. And as you progress through the seasonal level, as you progress through the season and increase your seasonal level, it will unlock more runes. So there's no RNG to the runes. Everybody will have access to the same runes based on how far they've progressed through the season. And so to confirm, the rune system, it says that the runes are seasonal, and that yes, after the season ends, they will reset and there'll be a new set of runes in the next season. But this feature is here to stay. This isn't a temporary feature. We see this as a long-term feature as part of the game, basically part of the game going forward and for the foreseeable future. We will, however, be looking to the community for feedback on the rune system. What you guys think, what improvements that can be made, and other such stuff. And so as we progress through the season, these are things that we can, you can discuss with your community and pass that feedback on to either myself or the community management team. I really think it's a cool system, and I think that you guys are going to love the customization that it offers, because there's a ton of runes, and it really allows you to, really put more into the build that you're putting with your character that are doing. And so I'm going to try to get through the rest of this quickly, just so you can get your hands on this, because I know that you want to look at the units, you want to look at the runes, you want to look at the doctrines. There's lots for you guys to look at. So a basic rundown of this rune system is there are four types of runes. There's common, which could be added to any type of equipment, weapon, helm, and armor. And the weapon, helm, and armor can only be added to that corresponding piece of equipment. And so, pretty self-explanatory. A weapon rune can only be applied to a weapon. It's pretty basic. There are 4 levels of quality to the runes. So there's uncommon, rare, epic, and legendary runes. And so the runes have a lot of different effects. And so I gave you one example before, in which case 1 increases critical hit value. So one type of rune will increase a stat. So, for example, critical hit damage. And then there's other types of runes that actually give you more new functionality on your characters. So, for example, there's one rune that will allow you to be able to move while you're healing, which is makes a pretty interesting impact on gameplay, I think. All the runes are in the game right now, but again, guys, the caveat is that the descriptions may not be final. So make sure that when you are showing them off, your audience understands that it's not final, and that the effect, if you're testing it, is not doing the intended effect. That's probably a result of the localization. And so when you're looking at here, you'll notice that each rune has a number associated with it, and then each piece of equipment has a number associated. So this is what's called rune power. And so this is where the customization and where the strategy comes into the rune system, is that if you can only apply up to 6 rune power to a piece of equipment, and because the different runes have different values associated with them, it's not just you can add anything you want. You have to pick and choose and calculate your rune power. And so all equipment will have 6 power slots available for you to add runes to. And so each rune takes a certain amount, or uses up a certain amount of power slots. So the way it breaks down with the power is that uncommon runes cost 1 rune power, rare costs 2 rune power, epic costs 3, and legendary costs 4. And so it really allows you to customize your character in terms of, you may want to apply 6 uncommon runes or 1 legendary and 1 rare. There's a ton of different combinations that you have to do, and I think it's really going to be a matter of exploring all the different runes and trying them out and seeing what works best for you and your character and your playstyle, really. That's what I really think it comes down to. And so I'm just looking through my notes, but I think that's pretty much the rune system.
I've got a question.
I got a question too.
Hold
you
on.
first. Go you first.
Hold on, I'm just going to jump in because Hexlin jumped in with a question from the Discord and said, wait, 6 uncommons? I thought only 3 slots. So again, just to go over it, so each piece of equipment has 6 rune power that you can fill up, and each rune costs a certain amount of rune power. And so an uncommon rune costs 1 rune power, a rare rune costs 2 rune power. This is rune a lot.
The thing is that it seems that there are only 3 slots. That's what we were asking.
Exactly.
I'm sorry, you're talking over each other.
Sorry, that you said that you had 6 uncommons because there are only 1, but in the game it only shows that there are 3 slots.
Yeah, so my example was 4. So if you have 6 rune power, then you can put you have 3 slots. You can put 2 rares or 3 rares in there to use up all those 6, or you can have 1 rare, 1 legendary, or 2 rares and a common. Like it's.
Can I ask a question?
Hold on. The key takeaway that you should be taking from this is that you need to be mindful of how much the rune costs and what you can actually apply to that piece of equipment. Okay, what's your question, please?
Question is, I tried to unlock some runes, but I have only green runes with 1 rune power.
Yeah, so in your inventory, you'll notice that we gave you a whole bunch of hero XP tokens. If you use those up, that should progress you through the season and unlock the runes.
Thank you.
That will only get you to level 35, by the way, if you use all those.
45.
The items that were in the inventory only gets you to level 35 out of the 45.
Oh, okay.
So if you could send up mail, possibly with more, that'd be cool.
That would be nice.
Yeah, I got to level 34 and that was it as well.
Okay, you guys may also want to try buying seasonal levels. So we gave you half a million covering, so that might do it as well. If not, we'll make sure that once the presentation concludes and we get into it, we can look into getting you guys more to make sure that you can check out all of it.
One last question. Maybe I missed it, but each equipment has the same amount of rune power and slots, or it depends on the rarity?
They all have the same amount of rune power and slots.
So a green item has the same slots and power like a legendary one?
Correct. Unless someone is about to correct me. I am correct, yeah.
Thank you.
My question is, so how are runes affected by when we reroll gear? So are the runes specifically on that piece of gear, or are they on the character for whatever gear we're wearing?
So it's on whatever gear you're wearing. There's no penalty for applying and taking away runes. So you can
Yeah, I'm
add
going to
them.
ask about glaive runes.
Yeah, so you can add them, take them back, and really play around with it until you find a good combination that you enjoy playing with or is the most beneficial for you. If you re-roll another piece of gear, just take the runes off the old gear and put them on the new gear.
What happens if we re-roll a piece of gear that has runes on it? Do we lose those runes?
That is a good question that I do not have an answer for.
I didn't lost it.
From what
universal. They're not
Once you unlock them, you
consumables.
have them permanently. Yeah, they're universal.
Once you unlock one rune, it looks like you can apply that single rune to all of your equipment with just the one rune. If it's like
Yeah, that's how it looks here as well.
Only unlocking one green, I can apply that single green rune to 3 pieces of equipment. So removing it or re-rolling it shouldn't affect that at all. It should be universal to everything.
That's dope.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Because people like me would accidentally not remove them before re-rolling.
Well, the thing I think about that. Oh, sorry. The thing I think with that is that you can specialize with those runes really well if you can have it universal.
Now I'm curious: is this system going to be implemented onto your units as well, so you only can have a certain amount of rune or power for them as well?
So this is for your character, not your units. So the units have the doctrines. Character has the runes.
Can I ask one more question?
Of course.
I just noticed that I'm unable to put all 3 units of Vikings in one build because it is over 700.
You need to build armor. I did that at the beginning. You need 745 to have all 3 at once.
Yeah. That will not be changed for this season, no? It will be 745, yeah.
To my knowledge, it will not be changed.
Yeah, okay.
I'm getting...
Do we already have the leadership cost reduction from the seasonal challenges applied?
Yes. Yes, we do.
Okay.
Yep. Okay.
Can I ask a question shortly?
Yeah, last question, and then we're going to move on.
All right. You know the weapon runes? It's got like for different abilities. Like for example, for the glaive, it's got what's it called? Not Flying Reaper, the other ultimate. It has a ability so you don't get interrupted while you're using it. Is it only for that ability, or is it for both ultimates? Or is that like going to change? Hail of Blades, that's the one. Because as far as I'm aware, like I know no one that uses Hail of Blades for glaive. Or is that the point, so that people use different ultimates?
It's only for the ones specified on the skill, on the rune, sorry.
Okay. And these are final now. There's not going to be any getting added or.
So it's final in that. Remember that the Loke's not fully final, right? So like the effects that you see in game may not be what's there, but what's going to be there in final. But in terms of the runes themselves, yeah, what you see in here is basically what's going to be released with the caveat that the localization and specifically the effect and the numbers are subject to change before we launch.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so there's not much more to go through here, and I know that we want to get into the game. So the next topic that I want to talk about is our new map. So our new map is the 15 versus 15 siege map, and it's called Hielands Fjord. I may have butchered that pronunciation, but it's going to be accessible through the matchmaking menu. So hit J in the menu, and it's going to have its own queue, at least at the beginning of the season. I don't know if that's going to change throughout the season. We're going to integrate it back into normal matchmaking, but when the season 7 launches, Hielands Fjord will have its own queue, and rather than talking through it and not really giving it justice, I was thinking that maybe at the end of the presentation, maybe we can just all queue up for a match and spend some time looking through it. What we're going to be doing is, for this preview event specifically, today we've set it up so it'll pop a match for 5 versus 5, and then depending on how many people stick around on the server and whatnot, we'll be monitoring it, and we can reduce the requirements if not enough people are getting into the queue. And we remember that we can coordinate when we're queuing and whatnot through our Discord there. So, but I think you guys will enjoy the map. It's a pretty unique sort of map. There's a lot of verticality to it. I think we should jump in there right after we finish this presentation and get a match going and have some fun with it.
Drew, I do have a question about runes. If 2 people use the same rune, does it stack? Like the ones that benefit your allies?
Runes do not stack.
Okay. Thank you.
No worries. Okay, so the next feature that we've added is the new avatar system. And so, so I'm just getting a note from the side. Okay, we'll get back to that. So the new avatar system is accessed through your character tab. So hit P in the character, and you'll notice beside your name, you've got this new image. So this is the avatar system. What it really does is give you a little bit more personal customization options in the game. And so this avatar will basically be displayed anywhere your character name is displayed. So in the character screen, the loading screen, when you kill someone in a match, they'll see your avatar, and if someone kills you, you'll see theirs. In the house menu, in the group menu, those sort of places. And so when Season 7 first launches, there'll be a default set of avatars that will be unlocked by default, and then you can earn avatars through doing stuff in the game. I'm not going to go through every little thing that you do, but there's a lot of different images that you can unlock, and the things that you do in the game are actions like reaching a certain seasonal level, winning the seasonal campaign, the territory wars, completing special challenges, unlocking units, and a whole lot more. And then you'll notice, beside the avatar, there's also the frames. So the frames are going to be a whole lot more exclusive than the avatars. They're going to be a lot harder to unlock. So, for example, one of the ways to unlock a frame is to become the grand champion in ranked matchmaking. So the frames are a lot more exclusive. And in terms of these actions that you do, so we will be unlocking certain avatars retroactively. So as you can see here, there's avatars that are associated with certain past either content or events or something like that. So if you had purchased the Plague Doctor attire when it was first introduced during Halloween, then you will retroactively get the frame associated with that. And so so you may find when you log in Season 7 that you will have a whole bunch more above and beyond the default frames unlocked and available for you to use. And then I also will use this opportunity to promote a very cool contest that the community management team is doing. So we have our avatar contest going on right now. And so this can, you can design an avatar, submit it, and if your winning entry is picked, then that avatar could potentially end up in the game. Caden, Chibs, you want to say anything else on that? A little shameless plug?
I think you did a good job shameless plugging it. Caden?
Don't forget to enter, guys. That's all we really have to add.
All right.
Yeah, don't forget to enter.
Question though on avatars. Sorry.
Yep.
For content creators, are you able to unlock for your own Twitch icon, so only you can have it on the avatars?
No, I know a lot of you guys have been asking me about this. We are not going to be supporting custom avatars, at least for the foreseeable future. Perhaps this is something that we can look into in the future, but not at the moment.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, I have a question about one of the frames. So one of them says Royal House. Is that going to be changed to Alliance? Because one of the leading aspects of an alliance is the ability to work together with other houses in order to gain the end of season goals. So having certain frames only available to a specific house is kind of detrimental to that. Is that going to be changed?
That is a good question. I do not know the answer, but someone might. Okay, this is something that we are discussing with the development team, so I do not have an answer to that right now.
Quick question, Drew.
Yep.
These avatars, like for example, if you win the contest, I know it did say so the avatar will be in the game, and will it stay in permanently, or will it like eventually? Like,
If you win the contest and your avatar ends up in the game, then I believe that it will stay there forever. And if you're the winner, then you will get exclusive access to that avatar for a certain amount of time, which I believe is a month. Yeah. So you'll have an exclusive avatar for a month before it becomes available for the rest of the player base.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Quick question about the avatar historically. As you said, for owning skins, right? You will receive those, but for ranked battles, for example, as a reward for ranked, right? Will it work only from this season moving forward, or if you had?
So if you were grand champion of the ranked in a previous season, would you retroactively get it from
Yes,
this
that's
season onwards?
All right, thanks.
Yeah.
It's the same about the kill amounts that are necessary to unlock the avatars?
I think if we're getting into the really specific details of like, will you get this avatar specifically, let's take those questions in the Discord and
Already did?
yeah, answer them there just to
okay.
Yeah, just to continue keep this presentation moving on. Because I think if we're getting into really specific stuff, then we're gonna, we can talk about this all day, and these are things that we can discuss, once we get through this. Okay. All right. So the next topic that I wanted to talk about was the Fame and Lions store, which is now known as Favor. And so this is something that I got into a little bit of trouble for spoiling to you guys before I should have. So, so Lions will now be known as Favor in Season 7. And so there's a new NPC named Thane who you'll be able to donate to and access the Favor store. So Favor will not carry over from season to season. And there's various items available in the store, including consumables, emotes, epic doctrine crates, treaties, and exclusive variants of the Odin's attire. And so, again, I'm going to remind everybody that this is going back to what I said at the beginning of the presentation, where the Fame store has actually got some bugs in it, and please do not show that on stream or in your videos. This is something that everybody will see once this season is launched. And yeah, but Favor can be earned. And this is sort of a topic that we wanted to speak specifically to. So we heard a lot of feedback from players about the Ruin Thief that we introduced in Season 6, and specifically it felt very time consuming to spend time in the open world to get to the Ruin Thief and complete it and whatnot. And so so the feedback that we've heard is that players did enjoy the mode. They just didn't enjoy how time consuming it was to actually go do the open world aspects of that. And so we've tried to address as much of that feedback as we could. And so we're bringing back the Clear Ruins mode, and that is going to be accessible through the matchmaking menu. So hit J, and it's going to be called Thief Raid. Is that the correct localization? I'm going to wait for someone to pass me whether that's correct or not. Yes, so it is going to be called Thief Raid, and it's basically the PvE Ruin mode that we introduced in Season 6 because it said people enjoyed it, so we're bringing it back. And looking through my notes here, I think that's pretty much it in terms of what we've done to try to address the feedback as much as possible. So in terms of the favor itself, so you can earn it by paying tribute to Thane and completing his daily quests, and Thane is in the town that you guys are in right now. I'm not sure whether he's going to be in every town or not, but I'll seek clarification on that. You can also earn by completing Gunthorm Red Eye's seasonal story quest. So he's an NPC that can be found at Riverside in Ungaveria, or by completing the Shield Maiden NPCs, and I'm calling her the Shield Maiden NPC because I cannot pronounce her name for the life of me. By completing her story quest, and she's an NPC that can be found in Taralvaros, which I do believe is in Angola, which basically there's going to be an NPC in every major capital. You also earn favor by completing the FIFA raids, by participating in the Hjolen Fjords siege battles, and players can also get rewarded with War Plunder, which would give you favor by participating in matchmaking battles. Oh, and Tural Veros is in Bavaria, just for clarity's sake. I'm going to point that out.
Will the season 6 supply crates, like the Maoying supply crates, will we be able to turn those in at the beginning of season 7 for favor as well?
That's a good question. I do not know. I'm seeking clarification.
My
I got a question.
Hold on. Please let me see if I get an answer to this one before we move on.
Roger that.
One moment. Yeah, Harlequin, I don't know the answer to that one. Can you drop in the chat and we would try to find out?
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, so I'm sorry, I didn't see who was going to ask the next question.
Me and Combo, I think. So I got a question about there were rumors that there will be more houses that could be green in Alliance. Is it true?
I'm just waiting to see. So you guys know how I feel about rumors. I mean, we don't speak to rumors about these sort of things. I know that there's always a lot of really crazy rumors that go around the community. I think some people start them for fun. I think others are legitimately asking for clarification. In this case, I don't have an answer for that one. I'm not being fed an answer, so I don't know for sure. So can you drop that in chat and we can see if we can find out?
Okay, no problem.
Thank you.
Okay.
I have a quick question.
That's being asked is since we won't have rebuilds for this season, are the prices in the favor store going to be lower than what they were in the Lions store?
That one I don't have an answer to either. I think that's something that we can just discover when it's released. But so
quick question, Drew, in regards to special campaign.
Wait 1 second. So I know that I did ask you guys not to show the favor store on your streams, but I can tell you when you're not streaming, you can look at the store or when you're not capturing, I should say, because this applies to videos and streams. The prices in the store in the build that you have now are final, and so you can take a look at it off screen and then tell your community whether that's increased or decreased or stayed the same. And sorry, who had the next question?
Yeah, it was me. About the special campaign, last season we had the teleports between the main cities unlocked when you progress. Is it going to be the same this season? So when you had 4,000 lions, you could teleport to Algolia, etc.
Yeah, I don't. Well, I mean, the purpose for that one coming in was to get you to, into the area in the open world to be able to do those the open world ruin thieves aspect of it, and that's not in the game anymore. So having the teleporting is more just a convenience. We don't have the answer to that one right now. We're gonna have to reach out to the dev team and get an answer. So if you could drop that into the chat, we will get that answer for you.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, so I'm just gonna. There's a few other things that I just wanted to really quickly touch on. And so I know that one of the things that you guys are going to ask about and want to spend some time testing is the balance changes. And so I'm not going to be going through and giving you a list of everything that's changed and whatnot. These are things that we, typically with previewing in the past as well. These are things that we tell you that all the changes are going to be announced in the patch notes. We can tell you that in this season, there's a lot of changes coming to heroes and units. And so I encourage you guys to spend some time looking through, playing the various heroes, trying out all the different units and see how, if they, behave as you expected, and checking out some of the updates. A whole list of all the balance changes will be included in the patch notes. But in terms of the builds that you're playing right now, just keep in mind that, again, it's not the final build. There may be further changes coming. It is near final, but it is not final. So just make sure that your audience understands that as you guys are testing stuff out, that that this is what can be expected, but they should also expect some additional changes. And while we're chatting about it, so I also wanted to just quickly speak to the feedback, and one of the things that one of the messages that I've tried to bring across and get you guys to hear is that we take the feedback that we get from the community very seriously, regardless of whether it's coming from you guys, from the creators, members of the content creators team, whether they're coming from players and whatnot. And I know that I can't speak on behalf of the community management team, but I can tell you that I can see how hard they work to make sure that the feedback that is received is passed on to the dev team. And I just wanted to make sure that everyone understands that when it comes to the feedback that we hear, particularly about balance changes and whatnot, we may not be actively participating in responding to every single piece of feedback that we give, because that, quite frankly, is impossible. But we're lurking, we're hearing it a lot, and it is being passed on. So, when you play Season 7, it may be that you'll see some changes that you may not necessarily agree with or whatnot, but the important thing is making sure that you're taking the time to understand, the changes behind it and how it relates. We may have made a change for a specific unit that is a result of a knock-on effect of another unit. And so I guess the message that I'm trying to get across here is that your feedback is being heard. We do make changes, but balance changes is an iterative process. So there's not going to be one magic update that's going to fix everything and give us perfect balance. So it's important to try the new changes and then continue to provide us with that feedback, because we're hearing it. We may not be actively responding to every single piece of feedback that comes in, but we're hearing it, and that is passed along. So I hope I didn't butcher that too much to the community managers. I just wanted to make sure that everybody understands how hard you guys work on making sure that the community is heard. Okay, the last point that I'm going to go through is as you guys explore the update and explore this build, you're going to notice that there's been a ton of really small updates to a bunch of different UI screens in the game. For example, we've made improvements to the legend in the world map and the tooltip, so they're easier to read and whatnot. So if you guys are streaming and you would, if you notice something, maybe call it out. Because we are always trying to look for those things to make it easier for players to play the game, particularly new players. So, there's a little bit of a steep learning curve when it comes to Conqueror's Blade. We all know this, so we try to get players in there and make it as easy for them to integrate and continue to progress as possible, so they can be competitive and most importantly have fun with the game. All right, so that is pretty much my presentation. I'm going to again reiterate a couple of key points that I started off the presentation with. One, highly recommend that you guys turn off the music, so mute it, or disable it, volume it all the way down, just because we have copyrighted songs in the game now. Do not want you guys to get demonetized or get a copyright strike on your guys' channel. Two, please do not show off the Fame store. There's bugs in there. We know about them. We're working on fixing them. They'll be fixed for the launch, hopefully. And three, keep in mind that the localization that you're seeing in game is not final. This is part of the reason why we have the watermark on the screen, is that when players are looking at or players in the community are looking at either your streams or your YouTube videos and whatnot, maybe watching a YouTube video in a few months from now type thing, they understand that this is a preview of a non-final build. And so for those of you who are publishing YouTube videos about this, I would request that in the title, perhaps in the title, make sure that you've got that is clearly indicated that this is a preview, captured from a preview event. And so add in preview test or something along those lines. And while we are just about to wrap up, I did mention earlier on in terms of the new map, 15 Siege, I was thinking that we can close off the presentation with everybody queuing up and jumping into a Siege map so we can check it out. What do you guys think?
Great
idea.
Yeah, let's go.
I'd love it.
Let's do it.
Sounds great.
So if you guys want to start queuing now, I'm entering the queue right now. And then while we're waiting, I'm happy to answer a couple more questions before we end it off.
Was the beard intended? Sorry, Pat.
I've had a question. Somebody is asking if there are new optimizations to the game because of the continued frame drop.
So those sort of things are going to be included in the patch note, the bug fixes and whatnot. So optimizations and bug fixes, that information will come in the patch notes.
Let's do this.
Okay, 1 second. Let's go.
Yeah, I've loaded in.
Let's
go!
Drew, is there any changes to the ranked system?
I don't have any information about the ranked at the moment. I might get fed some answers, but at the moment I do not know. Let's wait 1 moment. So yeah, so no changes to the rank at this time.
Will it be a more stable servers in the future?
So the server game optimization, server optimization is something that we, and by we I mean everybody who develops and publishes Conqueror's Blade as a team together, is something that we're always working on. And so when it comes to either game optimization, and I know that like that may be related to the frames per second, or when it comes to server optimization to make sure that the servers are running as smooth as we possibly can get them. These are things that we're always working on. And so like when you ask us a question like are you guys working to improve your servers? The answer is always going to be yes. We are always working to improve that. This is something that I've said since the beginning of, what was it, season 5? And you can see in the last, in the last months alone, we've made significant strides to improve not only server stability, but game optimization and other such stuff. And that's something that we're going to continue to work towards. So the answer is yes, it is stuff that we're working towards.
Am I the only one that didn't remember to put doctrines on my units yet?
Am I the only one?
Oh, no, you're not the only one.
I didn't have doctrines, and I wanted to put it on the stream afterwards.
No.
Yes.
I wanted to go overall.
I completely forgot to give myself units.
Proceed.
Oh,
no.
Hopefully he's not on my team.
Okay.
everyone protect Drew.
What?
Can we let everybody get back to their streams and then just start answering them in the chat, or because I think that if we're getting into a battle and we're all yelling on our respective streams, it's going to start getting quite hectic. So
our battering ram is
thank you so much for this again. Thank you guys for
Yeah, thanks.
I'm happy to do it.
Thank you for the preview event.
Yeah, thanks for the preview, guys.
for the invites and everything.
So
Alright guys, if you want to join me, I'm in the Cloudwing Vale Discord in the bar. Feel free to join me, ask questions, I will see if I can find answers. Poor Watchmen, they're dying.
Our battering ram has breached the gates.
Oh wow, I have a dismount now.
Destroyed.
You guys caught that, right?
Their gate has been destroyed.
Well, they got all their Vikings out. Let's see how the Laos do.
Your unit is retreating.
Going! Form wedge! Form wedge! Form wedge! Hurry up! Form wedge! Stand together! Race weapons! Form up!
Shield maidens.
Follow me! Form wedge! Stand together! Form line! Form wedge! To battle! Crush these barbarians! They will be unstoppable! Raise weapons!
that answers the question there. I lost one. More shield maidens. It's interesting, my thing has a pushback. Oh, Drew got kicked. AFK.
Form close order. Form wedge. Form units assemble. Attack at will. Smash them. To battle. Attack.
They can be overwhelmed.
Yes, all right.
We will follow your
We
command.
hurry up!
Avenge our
This
sister.
person
is loudly.
We have enough
time
to your yard. Take cover! As you command!
Too many. Yep. Also, another thing that's kind of confusing is how the, oh, look at this. This battle, they're recapping the B and C. You notice that? Or the A? So they're recapping. No, it's locked. Never mind. Just B and C, I see.
Our team has captured point B.
Yeah, their charge is kind of different. You target a location rather than the direction. Let's go, Watchmen. Let's go.
Attack!
Get him.
Yes, Commander.
This is gonna go well.
Capture the point.
Smash them! Scatter them! Angry!
We captured a point.
as all hell, that's for sure.
The enemy captured the point.
Alright, so you have directional dismount. So I do that slam if I don't press a direction, but if I do push a direction, it does the pushback.
Spread out and attack! Hurry up!
Yep. Cliffs. Bane of my existence.
As you command!
The enemy captured a point.
It's game over for me unless I get that middle. Creep shot set up. I feel like the bodies are a little more ragdoll than they used to be.
Form close order! Hold still!
Interesting.
Prepare to fire!
Mostly the same.
Here come the hammers!
Gonna take a look at the unit tree real quick, see if anything's changed. Nope, it's all the same. Alright, I'm gonna go outside and see if I can find someone to field. Molten Monkey should be out eventually. Give me a second, I'll take a look. Oh, that would be a crash. It's probably because I alt-tab during the loading screen. Usually doesn't like it when I do that. Yeah, you know, we practice a lot. I gotta upload our new ones. Monarchs, do you have a hard time getting people in a winged V formation? I imagine so. That much ADHD in one house. Not gonna do good things. Let me deck out some IPGs real quick.
We guard the Empire! We are
Stalwarts
here
are
to
gonna
serve
need
the
it.
king.
Always wanted that doctrine on my stalwarts. It seems like it'd be really handy for like the IPGs. I don't have a bracing doctrine. What the heck? I'd have to open a ton of those things to get them. Yeah, it definitely could be better. Oh, I'm missing all the ones I usually use. I don't know, I got this labor. That's could be good, right?
We guard the Empire.
Their name's different. This is throwing me for a loop. Alright, that unit set up. Alright, what other unit should I test? I mean, wings hussars, obviously.
On these wings we ride to glory.
Well then. Wow. Alright, passives on which troop? Labor on Iron Reapers.
It's harvest time!
320 leadership. 16 troops. There's the sheet. I'm going to try to go through all of the attributes and catalog what they are now and then what they are post-patch for all the gold units. I'll let you know. So allows R fire resistance still.
We are here to
Stalwarts.
serve the king.
I have the recover doctrine on there, which give them that. Alright, which runes do you want to see? Short sword? These are the ones I currently have unlocked. Centurion drill cannot be interrupted. This is huge because that makes that actually usable. I always liked the look of that skill, but everything interrupted it, which drove me insane. Let's try to find some of these gold ones for you. There's one. There's one. This one is probably going to be the one people are using. That's kind of nice that it goes off to your friends, but it does reduce you by 50%. So I'm not sure the trade-off would be worth it. And how many people you know think about we as a team instead of me as a player. That's pretty much it. You get this extra damage dealt by nearby allies is increased by 10%. And damage taken reduced by 10. This could be a good hold the point. They got a lot of these when you're on a capture point skills. Alright, Longsword has this one. You recover 1% health while below 25%. This effect lasts until your health exceeds 50% of its maximum. That's like a perma regen, essentially. Martial Prowess effect changes to each strike that hits an enemy hero, restores 1% of your maximum health with no limit. When Clash of Shields is triggered, damage taken is reduced by 40% for 5 seconds. This is going to be huge. I like that skill a lot already. And 40% reduction would probably allow even more potential out of it. This is the one. Let me go over there real quick. Yep. So this skill right here, not a lot of people know this, but you can charge at a Winged Hussar charge and stun the Winged Hussars. They can run through anything, but they can't run through this. If you stun those Hussars right in front of your pikes, they pretty much dead stop right in front of them. I've done it to several people. It's kind of neat. Little known secret. I also wish that you can get this map right there as a world map instead of this. Like, that'd be so cool to have that frame right there before it switches to this. Alright, if you did not know it, this little button right here under UI, Map Thief Details, changes the details to show you this view, like the old classic view, instead of the new and improved view that looks like that. So this is great and all, but it doesn't tell you a whole lot, like what rank the village is, you know, during TW, I don't think it changes much at all. So we'd have to see what the battles look like now. I mean, this is improved over where it was. It used to just be like the name of the house and the name of the city, and that was it. So now we actually have the alliance, the house, what type of city it is, the emblem, and the name. We'll see what it looks like when there's actually a battle going on. They add water to the map? There's always been water in Austeria. What do you mean water? You're tripping. It's been that long since you were out here? Alright, dual blade. My other favorite assassin class. I don't have any of the elite ones unlocked, so let's go look at the rune. Alright, there you go. So the first gold one is killing a hero increases your damage by 3%, stacking up to 5 times. The stack is zeroed upon your death. So if you're really good, like if you're Sansa, and you've killed me 5 times, you're going to have a lot of stacks of this. Yeah, Sansa, I remember you. Always killing me. Alright, we got bow shurikens. The range is increased by 25%. That's nice. That's really nice, in fact. Because that's your kill them while they run away and watch them cry. It's beautiful. You can regenerate health every time that you kill somebody for 3 seconds. That's 8%. It's not too great, but... I wonder if it stacks. If you kill 2 people in quick succession, if you get double it. Alright, so those are those 3. All right, musket. They're okay. So your normal shots are now grape shot, which are nice. Kind of like that. I wish that there was a long range shot. That'd be nice. Sniper shot or something. That'd be cool. I wish that there was a drop down that would let you select your weapon. That'd be nice. The black powder grenade area of effect is increased by 15% and the cooldown is reduced by 2 seconds. That's pretty huge. Alright, there you go. Cooldown. Using fine gunpowder now reduces the cooldown of 5 rounds rapid and grape shot by 15%. I still like this one, Monarchs. Healing can be used while moving. That's kind of handy. This is for scrubs like me. When I die, I heal my team. That could be really handy for some classes. I like this one, especially with my longsword. Of course, healing improved would be nice on my longsword too. Every other class, reduction of healing by 20% is nice. Hey now, longswords can live and sometimes kill things. You know, after everybody else has whittled down their health really far, we can kill things. It happens. Alright, musket ruin in action. You want that one? Or the grenade? Don't believe I can get both, nope. Just go into this guy and give him a skill real quick. Oh no, not this again. This happened to me last time I was on the test server. Oh dear. And now I can't move. Ah, I broke it. Alright. Yeah, I think that Season 7 is definitely going to be fun. I'm looking forward to playing these guys a lot. I need to go through and actually check all their stats and log them all. I'm going to be posting all of this information that I find on conquersbladehub.com. Just go to Seasons, click on Season 7. I'm going to put a full list of each of the unit stats that are here.
We go to war, my
So
sisters.
all of this is going to be up there for you. I'm going to try to log all of these so that you have these at your reference as well. But most likely, I probably won't finish that until it actually goes live because I want to get some screenshots that don't have my numbers all over it. But for the most part, I should have all that detail on there for you, hopefully as soon as possible. Alrighty. You guys want to hang out for a second? I'll let you stare at the screen for a second. Monex, you wanted to see something in particular for your guide? Make sure to get the raw data.
Our legend makes us immortal. Our screams is their doom.
Alright, got the numbers on that.
Vi skal spise med våre forfedre i Valhalla!
What he said. What is their max level? 22.
Som den sterkeste tar vi det som er vårt. Fortvile for din ende er nær. No escape from us.
max level.
Bring us on Ragnarok.
Link coming to you in the Twitch chat. At the very bottom of the Season 7, I placed those things. I'm going to work in filling out the data. All this information will transfer over to the Conqueror's Blade Hub. So I'll work on filling out the Veterancy Pass and then move it all over, all the data over. But in the meantime, while you're working on your own guides and stuff for your crews, please feel free to use that data. The data above has not been verified yet against the new patch, so I'm going to go through and try to do a full system, like re-index of every unit in the game come Season 7 launch. But that should get you started. I'm going to have to exit, come back. Good God, Ming's here. That's annoying. Ming, the PTS. See if rebooting helps. If not, like it did last time. Last time I was stuck in that state. We'll see if it works. Get the hell out of this place. I'll try one more rebel battle, see if I can get that musket skill for you. If it doesn't work, I'm gonna have to bail. I want to finish getting all this data in, get it all ready. Nope. So none of these battles are gonna work for me. So I'm going to go offline, guys. I'm going to start logging some data. I'm going to try to get you guys some data. I'm going to log all of the runes for you, put all the runes up on the Conqueror's Blade Hub, and then also get all the unit data up there for you, and hopefully have the trees done fairly quickly. But with this bug, I had it last time. It was literally like an hour before I can do anything. And it seems to only happen on the PTS. Yeah, I'll post it to our Discord, the section I'm building. Hey, Molten, I can't start any battle at all. So, I'm going to take off. I'm going to go log this data and hopefully be able to do something at a later date. I have the full list of what days and times things are working. Oh man, that did not format at all. I was hoping it would. I'll post it in Discord for you guys. And that will also be up on the site. So from March 18th through April 5th is the Barons War. Heart of the World from April 5th to April 26th. This is when the Borderlands open, so you can't even go to the Borderlands until this. So April 5th is when the Borderlands opens. Then you can basically fight in all 4 regions, April 26th through May 17th. May 17th through May 31st, you're fighting over Agolia and Regionopolis. Then the main event, the big Tular Veros fight, is taking place between May 31st and June 14th. Alright guys, this has been my little preview. I'm going to go log some data for you. Please head over to conquersbladehub.com. Check out all the data. It'll be on the Season 7 page.